This is a story about innovation through the integration of a study startup system, a clinical trial management system, and an eTMF. It's about increasing speed without compromising quality. This is also a story about a partnership between Oracle and Phlexglobal. Hi, I'm Karen Roy, Chief Strategy Officer from Phlexglobal. So what's the value proposition of this integration of these three systems? The first is around generating meaningful insights. The Activate SSU system has an enormous amount of data that it can utilize to predict study setup, site setup, and recruitment timelines. Reduce QC. Taking a risk-based approach, you don't need to QC documents that have already been QC'd in the SSU Activate system or in the Siebel CTMF system. They can come into the eTMF in a pre-QC'd state. And finally, accurately predicting requirements. Utilizing the data from the CTMS and the SSU systems, you can predict exactly what documents are required in the TMF. So let's have a look. So as a sponsor or as a CRO, you might have multiple databases, spreadsheets, where you're keeping all the details to all of your potential sites. And what Select does is it merges all of that information into one place. And not only does it give you the information about the sites, it also gives you a score. So you can see here that Dr. Nassau has a site score for this study of 77. So a good potential, and let's have a look. Using the inbuilt workflow, let's have a look at this site. So we've added Dr. Nassau, and he's now got an email to say that he's a potential for this site. And we can therefore look at all the feasibility information. We can see exactly the progress the site has made. And in here in Select, you can also see the site profile. So the fit for the study, the previous performance, the previous experience they've had, and all sorts of other information, such as the study contact. So who's actually at the site. So we look at Dr. Nassau and we go, yep, we think he's good. Let's move him forward. So click on the accept button and send an acceptance. So Dr. Nassau now has a confirmation to say that he is included in this study. Important to note, we've now moved into the Activate system, and in the Activate system, Dr. Nassau is set up. You can see here, BAH 005. He's not only set up here, he is also set up in the Siebel CTMS system, and he's also set up in the FlexTMF. So it's a seamless one-stop to set up all the sites. So here you've got all the information. For example, if we look at the milestones, it will tell you all the information, the planned and actual information for this particular site. And actually, if you click on, you get the information about all the documents. So this is the pre-configured workflow where it automatically takes you through all the different steps to activate your sites. Now, importantly, when these documents are finalized, these documents are pushed through to the FlexTMF system. And that's very important in terms of a workflow. Equally, these documents are QC'd in Activate. And so therefore, when they go into the FlexTMF system, they actually go in at a final state. So therefore, as I mentioned earlier, you don't need to keep repeating QC in multiple places. You can do the QC in the source system. So let's flick over now and look at FlexTMF. Now, this is how the site is created. So when the site is initially moved from Select into Activate, then it's also created in Siebel CTMS, and it's also created in FlexTMF. Not only is the site created, but all the placeholder requirements are set up as well. So a placeholder says that we are going to need this document at some stage, and the placeholders are also linked to milestones. So not only can you see what placeholders you need, but you can also see when you're going to need them. So the placeholders that are in red in here are the ones that are required for the particular milestone that we've met based on today's date. The ones in grey are not actually required yet, and they will only go to red and say that they are required once we hit that milestone. So let's have a look and see what happens when we drill down and we've had some documents come over. So here we can see these are documents that have now come in from the Activate, and you'll notice they've all gone to final. So these are the documents that came straight over, and obviously we now have a percentage complete. And this is based on how many documents have come over. Not only do they come over and go to QC, they also get grouped. So for example, if we were to look at our sub-investigators and we look at Dr. Beach, we can see that all of Dr. Beach's documents have been grouped according to his name. So not only are they coming over as documents to fulfill placeholders, they're coming over pre-grouped. So when you're reviewing it in the FlexTMF, you can see all of those documents. As I mentioned, it is also set up within the Oracle Siebel system. So you can see here that Dr. Nassau is activated here. If you click on Dr. Nassau in the CTMS system, you can see all the details about the site. Now, obviously in the CTMS system, this is where your monitoring visits are produced. So if I go and look at my site visits and go and look at Dr. Nassau, this is where I can go in and create my monitoring visits with all the attachments, questions, follow-up actions, etc., etc. Once the monitoring visit is created here in CTMS and it's finalized in CTMS, magically it goes across to FlexTMF. So you can see here that the document, the monitoring visit report, has come across and it's taken a placeholder and it's gone straight to final. Again, not just as a single document, but also as a group of documents. So for this particular visit, you can see that they've all been grouped for visit 002, and here are the documents. And if I click on the monitoring visit report, it actually shows me the trip report or monitoring visit report from the CTMS system and all the metadata associated with that document. So the whole purpose of all of this really is to have an automated, streamlined process, moving documents from study startup and Activate and from the Siebel CTMS system into the TMF. And the goal here is to get a TMF that is 95 and finally 100% complete in a very seamless and simple way. So hopefully that's given you a good idea as to how the systems work together. So why are Phlexglobal and Oracle partnering? Besides the logical integration points between CTMS, SSU, and eTMF, we also offer best of breed systems with the highest level of functionality. In addition, it's about people, our approach, our thoughts, our level of expertise. We come together to form a great partnership.